Welcome to Will's World, your will overall, powered by Third Gen Physical Therapy and Sports Science Institute.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're listening. Thanks for listening. And we're back again with another episode. Before we get started today, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think about the content and let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about or answer. And with that being said, let's hop off in today's episode. Today's episode is for my new PT graduates, and it's titled New PT Graduates Find Purpose and Create Value. Now, the reason I chose this topic is more of a personal thing for me. And I think that a lot has happened over the years in healthcare that has confused a lot of people who are getting into healthcare. And I wanted to do something for those new graduates that I think does not get done enough, and that's give them a truth. And with that, hopefully they can take something from that helps them build themselves for the rest of their career. Because if not, then they're going to be miserable. So today's talk is going to cover three different topics within this episode. First, we're going to talk about what's the purpose of what you are doing. The second piece is what's your value? What can you really do? Three, you're not worth the money you are asking for unless you are special. Now, in the first piece of that talk, what's the purpose of what you are doing? Now, everybody gets into a field in healthcare for many reasons. For the most part, people like the field of healthcare because of what it does for them, what it pays them. And as a result of that, that's why a lot of them are not good at their jobs and become miserable or burnt out. Because what you find out is that it doesn't matter really how much you make, it's not fulfilling. It gets to a point where it becomes overwhelming. It can become very taxing. So after the little pay high goes away, now you're back into something different, trying to get out of the bed to go to work. Why is it hard? Wow, the money I make doesn't really cover what I thought it covered for my life. Man, taxes are hard. Dang, I got to go deal with Miss such and such or Mr. whomever today. Man, the people in the office are really dragging. Wow, my counterparts or my peers really don't care about this person who has health issues, who cares about their health extremely because they're nagging or they ask too many questions. And then you get yourself in an environment that you realize not many people do this job because of purpose. They do it for what it provides for them. In the state of Mississippi, I feel like there's a lot of underserved communities and populations for all those people that come from those underserved communities and who decide to get into healthcare and then get there and realize that um, they're not who they thought they were, and they opt out to go get paid. Shame on you, because I'm from a space where a community where there's not much access. And with that, there's some health literacy issues too. And there are a lot of people who don't know what to do, why their healthcare provider, is telling them to take this pill, or why they're not improving, when it comes to their pain issue, although they're taking this medication, and so on and so forth. And the one thing that stands out to me or stood out to me was everybody deserves a chance to know whether or not what they do with that chance or they take what you give them and use and apply it is not your decision or your thing to judge them on. You just have to give it. It's frustrating at times too. So your purpose in what you're doing is the thing that keeps you fulfilled. Because when you're a new grad, you're trying to make as much money as possible. You're trying to cover some debt. You're trying to get yourself situated and started. And then what you realize is that you started to create a lifestyle that you can't come down from. No matter how much you want to have some peace, some balance, you can't get back to a place that allows you that. And it's because you went in there with no purpose. The only thing you went in there is what it did for you, not what you do for others. You're in the field of service. You're in the field of care of others. Think about it. Your whole deal of getting in this world of healthcare is to help people. At some point in time, you thought about it, like, hey, that'd be cool to help some people. And at the end of the day, you lost that. So for every new PT graduate that's coming out here going in this field, you're going to walk into a lot of clinics, a lot of hospitals with people who are burnt out, mad, upset. They're going to demean the profession. You know how I know that? Because I walked into that. The difference is, though, I don't care what they think. I don't do it for them. I do it for the people that walk through the door who have an ailment, an issue, a problem. And just so happen I might be able to help them. And the payment I get from that is always filling. Now, the second piece for these new graduates, what's your value? What can you really do? See, everybody comes to me and asks me these questions of, hey, man, I'm trying to negotiate the biggest contract possible. Hey, man, I'm trying to figure out what's the most profitable area of rehab to go into. And my same response to them is, what do you do well? What's your value? For the most part, nobody can give me an answer. And I say this to them. Trust me, if you want to make money and get paid, you can do that without me. I promise you. You will find a job in the middle of nowhere or a job nobody wants, and you will make some great money, doing that job. And you don't need my input. But the truth is, you really don't know what that looks like until you get there. So my grandma used to say all the time, man, sometimes the best lesson's a bought lesson, the one you pay for. And unless you listen, you're gonna have to go pay for the lesson. So when I say what's your value, what do you offer that nobody can offer in your class to the people who are hiring you? What's your value? Like, a lot of you don't even know the percentage of cancellation rates you should have on a day. Some of you don't even know how many patients you should be able to schedule and keep on average per week. You haven't even sat down and researched how much each patient is valued at in a clinic based on their insurance payer. Your productivity level, your revenue generating, your return on investment based off of what they pay you versus what you make for them. So your value providing, you can't even measure it because you're in a school that's teaching you about the basis of what you do for a living and how to do it, but nobody's teaching you how to actually put value together. They don't know what to look at. They don't. You know how I know that? When I was in PT school, I had a professor tell me this, and it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And she knows who she is. I said, hey, I'm doing a resume. Take that back. Scratch that. Hey, this is my resume. I'm going to add these experiences to my resume. And I add all my clinical rotations to the resume. And when I added it, she said, that makes no sense. I was like, why not? That's not work experience. I'm like, but it is. I'm working 8 to 10 to 12-hour days sometimes. And at the certain point within that rotation, like I have a full schedule and I'm managing it. She thought it was pointless. It made no sense. Thank God I worked for a Fortune 500 company and understood how that mattered. See, people's limitation on you is placed on you by them, so you can't even exceed that. So versus her trying to help and verify or go seek or figure out why would these entities that I place on this resume be of value, she demeaned what I put there. And she was a teacher, a professor. So when I say what's your value, I know you don't know because they don't teach it. And then the last part, What can you really do? If I were to drop you in the middle of nowhere, what could you really do? So, for the most part, most of you all can generally eval somebody and not kill them. That's really what you can do. And set them on the most basic program, right? So, in essence, you're doing base entry level rehab work. That doesn't get you big money. That gets you the job, get you in the door, get your competitive salary to a point. That doesn't get you any money. Somebody, I have students that ask me all the time, what should I do when I go to PT school? I say, please take your rotations seriously. Pick rotations that are going to challenge you and that are very unique and go learn something. Challenge yourself. Guess what they do? Find an easy rotation, go get the A. Because it's about completion. It's not about investing and trying to figure something out. When I came out of school, in the first job I took, right? I kid you not, I could eval anything you walk through the door. I could tell you what to do, what the surgical precautions were. I could read the imaging. I can tell you the precautions. I can even tell you based on the surgical procedure that was done by what doctor when they first got here, based on just the initial range of motion of, yeah, I think this is going to take a little longer based on these things that factor into this. Why? Because that's how I was trained in my rotations. It wasn't no such thing as you could get there and be like, hey, total knee replacement. Yeah, man, you got 12 weeks with us. We can try to get you to zero and try to get you to 90. No, that wasn't the case. I had to describe and tell why this joint was different than that joint based on the surgical notes. What does this material mean being placed in the joint? What was this doctor doing setting the knee a certain way? Why is this going to go a little bit quicker versus a little bit longer for another person? What comorbidities factor in that always become an issue when it comes to rehabilitation? This person's demeanor. Have they had any previous surgeries? This is their first surgery. So, what you probably need to do is really be on the mental part of educating them and making sure that they understand what to expect. Harp on certain things or milestones to be able to get them to understand these are the things we need to get to hit. And then guess what? Show more than compassion. Go above and beyond what you should do to try to figure out ways to be able to make sure that they have what they need. And then in turn, be dope at what you do. Was I perfect when I got out? No. But I promise you, I could do this job at a pretty high level. Now, the last part is this: you're not worth the money you're asking unless you're special. Just like in sports, right? Like, I don't know why people don't take this world and literally apply it in different aspects on purpose. Think about it. If you play basketball, right? Now people getting paid to be bums, but that's not what I'm talking about. If you play basketball, there's levels to this. Certain people can get paid this amount of money because of their talent and they're special. Some people are only going to make this amount of money. Even if they compare across the market, they can negotiate it to get close as they can to a certain amount of money. It's the top of their percentage, but you're probably going to make this because this is what you are. It's the same thing in the world of rehab. What makes you special? That goes back into the first part of what I said. What's the purpose of what you're doing? One. Two, what value do you have? Three, in that same part, what can you really do? If you don't have any special about what you do, you're going to make a lot of money working jobs that nobody want to work, and that's going to make you the profit you want to make. But you're going to realize that it's not where you want to be at all. And some people are going to be okay with that, and that's cool. This part not for you, but it's for the ones who I know want something a lot different. So if you're getting out of PT school and you're looking on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, and they're giving you all these negative views about physical therapy, cool, man. Believe it. I don't care. I do not care. Believe it. I just think that a lot of us gotta start thinking, really thinking. Use our own brain. Like, I've told this story before, but I'm gonna tell this story one more time and then I'm off. When I was coming out and I was negotiating my pay, I had people within the profession on the other side who said things to me about why some people took or were not valued at the number that I ended up being valued at. And sometimes that difference was big as 40 grand. It was. Sometimes as big as 50. Like, I'm dead serious. Are these rare moments? I don't think so because I have a close friend that makes a lot too. But they're dope. Like, it's not even questionable. Like, they are legit at what they do. It's not even close. But the people on the other side said this. Please don't share with your classmates what I'm about to tell you. That's okay. And they said something. And I'm not going to tell you what they said because I put it in here in pieces throughout. But what they said is why I'm saying what I'm saying to you. Find your purpose, create your value, then ask for something. You'll find out if you're special or not. Hope everybody who made it to this point in the talk, man, learned something, took something from this. Hopefully, my honesty in this was a way to be able to give you some clarity on the fact that not everybody coming out is going to make a bag. They're just not. But a good amount of you can if you're special. So I challenge you. Go try to be something better than a guy who punch a clock or a girl that punch a clock collect a check. Try to do what you said you're going to do when you got in this profession. And you might just find that you're going to end up where you right, where you want to be. And with that being said, hope you have a blessed one. I'll catch you in the next one.